Now, I'm sure everyone is aware of the ImAllexx's situation that's been unfolding. We covered it a little while ago, but since then there have been some updates to that situation. Since Alex's video has come out, his ex Alice has published a nearly 750-page Google document. Now, I'm assuming most of you right now do not have the patience to cover that much in general, and to be quite honest, I don't really either. So I figured out a much better way to go over some of the things in the doc. Instead of going through everything Alice says in it, we're just going to go through Alex's video and debunk every claim he made using the evidence Alice provided. And get ready, because practically every single thing Alex claimed got debunked. Just like before, we're going to go through the main points, and even though Alex's video was terrible enough that things could be debunked on his own screenshots, we now have texts and audio messages to further debunk his terrible claims. So immediately he says that Alice was incredibly abusive, both mentally and physically.
Alice hit me, kicked me, emotionally, verbally, and physically abused me, as well as threatened me and blackmailed me constantly throughout our relationship.
The crazy part about this is that in the DMs, this whole thing was brought up. Alice found out that Alex was going to his friends and saying that Alice was abusive to him. She confronted him on this, and he tries to backpedal so hard. No, you made it sound like I hit you all the time, and that's why we argue. Look, it's a text message. I never aggressively fucking hit you. And obviously you can read into it like that. I never went for you. I never attacked you. I know, and I didn't say you did. And even later on in these DMs, he says, if people are going to send my text around, then sure, you can read it that way, and that's why I stopped talking to my friends, because I am scared people will say you abused me. So keep in mind, he was saying this back then, and now his new stance is, she definitely abused me, guys, bad woman. We covered the police investigation last time and how Alice provided crystal clear DMs showing she very much did contact the police on Alex, and that he does not need to be criminally convicted to end up on Claire's law. So if you want to learn more about that, then go watch the previous video I did on Alex.
Alice shows no proof of this, and that is because this is the exact opposite, as Alice had been threatening and blackmailing me throughout our relationship and months after it had ended.
Funnily enough, he tries to say Alice threatening to sue him over saying she was abusive is blackmail. Well, now we have direct DMs where you claim that she was never abusive towards you, Alex. So yeah, it seems like her saying she'd sue you over this seems at least tad bit reasonable.
Alice says we had a huge fight where I dragged her, covered her mouth, and put her in a headlock, and that this happened on the 19th of October, a few days after we had moved in with each other. There are no texts from this time that even suggest that we were fighting or had been in a fight, and that's because this did not happen.
Alex is very adamant that this never happened. The DMs paint a different story. Okay, I was still gonna leave. I told you to never do something like that again since you dragged me, and you did it again, so I left. Instead of denying this claim, Alex says, you can't go around a rented house screaming because then we both would have nowhere to live, and you weren't paying for it, so I had to stop you somehow. Call me crazy, but that makes it sound like you put your hand over her mouth and dragged her. If you didn't put your hand over her mouth, why not say you didn't, instead of saying you had to stop her somehow?
I messaged Alice about the time she had kicked me, which had led to me sleeping on the sofa and staying away from her to stop her from assaulting me.
Turns out this is wrong as well. Alex randomly got into bed with Alice fully naked when she wasn't okay with that. Alex says it's because he has a skin condition or some shit. His girlfriend's solution was to sleep on the couch, which is pretty reasonable. Alex didn't want to do that, and she got uncomfortable by it. The crazy thing is, though, is that Alice said she didn't kick Alex, and instead pushed him away from her, to which Alex responded, it's okay. I don't even want you to talk about it. Sounds like you're agreeing that she didn't kick you. The cat segment is up next, and oh boy, look at that. Alex lied once again. So we already knew what happened based on the DMs that Alex put in his video, and that Alex was making really weird jokes about the cat and got up in Alice's face, so she pushed him off of her. We actually get a little bit more insight into this, because apparently Alex was joking about snapping the cat's neck. So yeah, I can see why she pushed you off of her. Now he talks about the emotional abuse.
Alice then said she knew that I wasn't being serious, to which I told her that she shouldn't hit me. Alice then denied hitting me. I did not expect Alice to admit it, as I become used to Alice completely downplaying and excusing being physically abusive in our relationship and mocking me whilst continuing to call me delusional.
A lot of the emotional abuse that occurred is Alex saying he was hit by Alice, to which she would say she didn't. Because, yeah, she didn't. The text messages say she didn't. She denies it happening, and you told her directly you didn't want people to think she hit you. He starts talking about how Alice apparently isolated him from his friends or going through his phone or some shit. As it turns out, all this was Alice responding when Alex's YouTuber friends reached out to her.
Alice also claims I had been harassing her after our breakup and that I turned up to our house to return items with a letter as proof of this. This entire story she has written is untrue. Alice wrote, he ended up sending things to my house like teddy bears and flowers.
Alex tries to debunk the claim that he sent her a teddy bear to her house. He lies and says he didn't, but turns out he did. He also apparently sent flowers as well, so Alex also has a whole segment trying to deny that he ever kicked Alice at all.
Alice has also gone on to accuse me of kicking her in her document, but what she has written is a completely false version of events. Alice says in her document that on her way out of the kitchen, I kicked her in the back, and that she turned away and said nothing. This story has been changed many times since this argument took place. When it happened, Alice texted me saying that I had only stuck a leg out. This is because I never kicked Alice.
We actually have full audio of Alex admitting to doing just that.
I am sorry, on the last night that you were here, that I got angry at you, and I pushed you, and then I kicked you in the behind when you walked away from me. It's not acceptable.
Oh god, the BPD segment. If you didn't see it before, let me just give you a quick re-explanation. Alice said during the relationship that Alex didn't have BPD, and so Alex, after they broke up, went to therapy and got diagnosed with BPD. She said you didn't have BPD while you guys were dating. You didn't get diagnosed until her document came out. It's entirely reasonable for her to say that you don't have BPD because at the time you weren't diagnosed. What the fuck else is this supposed to mean? Like, this is retarded. The birthday lies segment, previously established. I just don't believe that any of this has happened. I don't believe anyone scheduled you to go to a fucking Star Wars premiere for business. There's nothing you've ever provided to back that claim up anyway. And even if you were scheduled to go to the fucking Star Wars premiere, why not just ask for your girlfriend to go with? This is the stupidest segment so far. Now, the Jess segment is a very interesting one because Alex was trying to make Alice out to sound crazy when she reached out to another one of Alex's exes, Jess, asking her to back up her statements. Well, what I didn't know when making my original video is that Alex's ex, Jess, has already come out to say stuff about Alex before. That's why she reached out. She didn't reach out of the blue just because this is another woman that dated you. She reached out because this is another woman that dated you that said similar things, that was basically corroborating what you did to her. That's essentially everything I was able to gather, though. I mean, like I said, the Google Doc is 750 pages with a ton of audio leaks, so it's pretty certain I missed something at least. I encourage you guys to go check it out for yourself, as I'll link it down below, but it's absolutely mind-blowing that Alex made all these false claims knowing all this info was just within reach for Alice. The dude is completely spineless and should just leave. He is not beating the brick allegations. Anyway, that's where I'm going to wrap up the video. I don't know, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe, I guess, or, I don't know, Alex is going to send flowers and teddy bears to your houses. Anyway, I don't know. Later.